Alright guys, welcome back to Gen Z Invest. Okay, so today I'm gonna show you how you can make money with Bitcoin just consolidating. Okay, because as you can see, for over like a week now, Bitcoin has been in like this range, and recently it just like crashed. So probably it's gonna go up, hit like 70,000 again, after that go back down to like 60,000 or 40,000, and then before it pushes to 100k, of course. So meantime, what we will be doing, because it's probably going to take a couple of months, okay, let's be frank here, like it's not going to be instant. It's probably going to take a couple of months, probably till like October, before we get like a next catalyst. Okay, so meanwhile, you want to be generating income. Okay, how can we be doing that? All right, so how can we be generating income while Bitcoin is just consolidating at this range? Okay, so what we're gonna do is, since Bitcoin is consolidating, okay, MSTR is also probably consolidating. So let's go on to the MSTR. Let's see right here. Okay, as you saw, Bitcoin was like previous week, right, where it was. Okay, let's go to MSTR. Look, 1 week of MSTR is basically just Bitcoin, you know. But right now, MSTR, it is pretty undervalued compared to the price of Bitcoin, because like, when you're buying like one MSTR right now, like the MSTR has like 700,000 Bitcoin, okay, in their holdings, but their market cap is below the valuation of what 700,000 worth of Bitcoin is. Okay, so simplify that, is probably undervalued. Okay, this company is basically undervalued because on its balance sheet wise, it's undervalued. Okay, so that's why I want to be using MSTR. Okay, so how can I earn consistent money from MSTR? Okay, let's bring you over to option strats and show you some strategies. Okay, right here we are at option strat. Okay, so what strategy are we going to be using? We're going to be using the same strategy that we always use. Okay, I'm going to repeat this over and over and over again until it gets into your head. Okay, the simple and most powerful strategy to generate constant and passive income. All right, we're going to be using the poor man's covered call. All right, I've explained this many times in many of my videos. All right, so let me just show you how much money you can potentially make, okay, in many scenarios where you use just a basic covered call or a poor man's covered call. So I would say that MSTR right now, it's the best time to do the covered call or the poor man's covered call, because like it's basically consolidating for like the previous month already. Okay, and of course Bitcoin has been going down for the past like 6-7 months. Okay, so this is the best time to do like covered calls, because when the stock goes down, you don't get called away. But when it pops up, that's the worst time to be doing covered calls, because like, you're gonna lose out on your capital gains, and you don't want that. Okay, so during a down cycle, best time to set up covered calls so that you can dollar cost average, use the premium to buy more shares. All right, to bring down the average cost, and then you can do even more covered calls, and then slowly you break even. Eventually you break even. All right, and once you do, the stock shoots back up. Hopefully you don't have a call position. If you do, you can always roll it out. There are many ways you can exit the position before it gets too bad to the point that you are capped. All right, so let's go on. Okay, let me just show you MSTR first. All right here. Okay, as you can see, MSTR right now is sitting at $123. All right, which is fairly low and a very good time for you to like buy leaps if you want to, and just like have leaps position open so that you can set up for like future pops. But as of right now, I feel like MSTR has potential to drop even lower, to probably around close to the hundreds range. All right, so when it does goes to the 100 range is where I'm gonna probably put more money into my leap options and just hold leap options throughout. All right, but for now we're gonna do like a covered call first. So I'm gonna show you open up a covered call position. So in order to open up a covered call position, you have to buy 100 shares. All right. So 100 shares is going to cost you $12,371. If you buy it like, you know, after your brokerage fees and all that, probably going to be slightly more. All right. Okay. So what do you want to do next? Well, after you have 100 shares, easy. You're going to sell a call. So how are you going to sell a call? Press sell a call. Okay. And then the first thing you want to do is find the strike price for the call. Okay. You want to actually you find the date first of like how far, let's say a month from now is pretty great. All right. Let's do 25 days, slightly less than a month. All right. Normally I don't like to do like weekly. I would like to have the third Friday of the month, which is 20th. Yeah, on the 20th of March. Okay, I don't like really the weekly expiry dates because they give slightly lesser premium. Normally the third Friday of the month gives the most premium. That's why I usually go for the third Friday of the month. All right, so next we're gonna look for the strike price. All right, so the strike price we're gonna look for is, okay, MSTR is right now at 123. Okay, we're gonna look at the strike price. We're gonna find a delta of 0.3, closest to 0.3 as always. Let's look at it here. No, it's still pretty far. Let's see. It's getting closer. All right, slightly past it. Oh, it's pretty close. All right, this is the closest to 0.3. Okay, so I like my delta to be about 0.3. Okay, if you want it to be safer, you can go to as low as like 0.1, which is like a 10% chance. After that, 0.2, it's a 20% chance. But of course, 0.3 is like the perfect zone. Okay, when I'm getting like $450, which is $4.50 per contract, which means one contract has like 100 shares, so it would become $450. All right, very simple. So from this position, I'm capping my profit to $2,179. So if MSTR goes to $141 by 20th of March in 25 days, go past it, I'm only gonna earn $2,179. All right, that's it. Nothing more. Can be less if the stocks, doesn't go up at all and it stays flat. So if it stays flat, I'll be just earning this premium of $450. All right. But if it doesn't stays flat, it goes up. The max profit I'm gonna get is $2,179, which a month from now, I doubt that BTC is gonna boom up. Okay, it's probably gonna take like 3-4 months at least. So for the next 3-4 months, okay, how much can we be making? Okay, simple math right here. So we just take 104. Let me show you the visualization right here. Okay, so let's go 350 for the next like 4 months. Okay, let's be realistic here. 4 months, BTC is gonna stay flat. Okay, flat. It's not gonna move anywhere. It's probably gonna move down. Okay, so times 4. All right, for the next 4 months. That's a free $1,800 every single month. Okay, but look, it's not much. That's not much for you're putting in $12,000, and you're getting only like what 10%. Okay, in 4 months, it sounds a lot, right? But it's not much. All right. Okay, so how you want to make more money than this? Okay, slightly more than 10% in like 4 months. All right. Okay, let's go on to the poor man's cover call. I'll show you how it's gonna do. All right. Okay, let's remove this and remove the 100 shares. All right. Okay. So we're gonna start by buying a call option. Okay, you want to find a strike price for this. Normally I look for lips like I always do. Okay, we go for, all right, if you want to be very safe, you want to look for leap options that are expiring 1 year out, more than 1 year out. If you want to like save on the money and earn even more money, you can always go below a year, which is on the risky side. But for today, I want to make a bit more money, so let's go on a risky side. Let's make it expire on January 2027, on the January 15, 2027. All right. So to buy this leap option, okay, and I will look at a delta of at least 70% delta, all right, in the money, okay. This is almost there. It's pretty close. All right, I guess this would be the closest, $115, which is very close to, it's in the money. We want to buy in the money call option. All right, it's $4,407. All right, simple. Okay, $4,407 just to buy the one of this leap option. Okay, so imagine you do not have $11,000. Okay, all you have is $4,000. How can, if you don't even have $4,000, then there's a cheaper way to do this method, which is just you sell this. This is basically a synthetic covered call. You're making a synthetic position, which is basically you sell a put also, right? You don't need much money for this position, but you need a margin account. So you also sell the put at the same strike price of the call at the same expiry date. Okay, this basically forms a synthetic 100 shares. Okay, which means you would now only need $1,000 to open this position. But of course, if the shares goes like ballistically down, then you would have to buy it at $115 at the strike, and you will lose the premium of like this amount. Yeah, so you basically would be losing like 12,000. If the stock goes to zero, you'll be losing like $12,794, all right. But if the share goes below 115 on January 15, 2027, then you would lose the premium of the buy call. You lose the premium of the leap option, and have to buy the share at $115 if it's below this amount when it's a year out. All right, but we're not going to get to that, trust me, because if we are even close to that within 6 months, you can just roll the position down. Okay, you just close the position and open a new one, which is like further down. Okay, which you lose some money, but not as much as like this $12,000 if the shares goes to zero. Okay, which is practically not gonna happen. All right, so if you do not have money, you can always do this option. $1,200 is all you need. Okay, but for me, I'm not gonna do this because it uses way too much margin. So instead of doing this, and I have like 4,000 cash just sitting around. If you don't, you can use this 1,000. If you do not have 1,000, then you shouldn't be even like trying. If you do not have this 1,200 spare, just do not even bother trying this method. All right, you can go find a cheaper stock, I guess. Can look for like Hot 8 or something. Yeah, okay. But if you do have the money, this is what you're gonna do, alright? Let's close this. I'm gonna show you just the poor man's covered call, alright? Okay, then we're gonna sell a call. First things first, we're gonna change the date of the sell call, alright, to 20th, alright, of March 2026, okay, and bring it back to 41. Okay, so we'll be still earning $450, but right now we're only gonna put in a capital of $4,400, okay. So it's basically a 10% return every single month, okay. So previously I showed you that it took you 4 months to earn 10%, okay, about 10%, slightly more than 10%. But right now, it's only going to take you 1 month to earn 10%. How ridiculous that sounds. Think of how ridiculous it sounds, okay? With just $3,900, okay? It's going to take you it shows you $3,957 is because this is after the profit, all right? After the minus of $450, okay? So total it's going to take you $4,400, all right? So after this month, okay, if the share still stays below $141, then you can open another position, okay. You can open another $141 position, and then just continue doing this again and again for the next 4 months out. So how much money are you gonna be making? As showed just now, you're gonna be making about $1,800 in the next 4 months, okay. And your total capital that you're putting in is $4,400. That's basically you're earning back half your capital already, right there. That's it. Within 4 months of doing this, you got back half your capital. Do this for 8 months, you get back the whole capital, okay. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Hope you understand well, and of course, as always, do your own due diligence.